Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? Of course, my name is Kent. The channel is EOS San Diego, and of course I make videos about the EOS blockchain. And I want to pose this question to people because I think it's an interesting question. The interesting question is, the question I'd like to pose to everyone is how to make EOS easier to understand, how to make it simplified, how to simplify and understand the EOS blockchain. Because I think right now, we struggle, a lot of people struggle with understanding EOS, and understandably, because there's a lot of moving parts in EOS. People ask me, how do you vote? How do you stake tokens? A little bit about block producers, how block producers work, top 21, how rewards work, all this stuff. There's a lot of things going on with EOS that aren't that easy to understand at first, on the first try. You know, you have to kind of think about it, put it into you have to kind of get your mind wrapped around it before you can completely understand it. And I believe that hurts the EOS blockchain. I believe that hurts the understanding of the blockchain. When people are making money by investing in the blockchain, and the investments are your investment is going up really quickly, you buy it for $5, it goes to $10, $15, $20, they're not so interested in how it works because they think, I'm making great money here by owning the token. Who cares how it works? But in times like we're in right now, where the price isn't going up, people are trying to understand it because people want to decide if they want to be involved with it in the future, if they want to invest in it, if they want to buy it, if they want to hold on, you know, if they want to build, whatever they want to do, if they want to be block producers, if they want to build applications, whatever it is they want to do, they want to be able to understand it. And of course, I think it's hard to understand initially. And the reason is because it's decentralized. If it was centralized and all the information was emanating from one centralized entity, it'd be much easier to understand than the fact that it's decentralized. I mean, you have hundreds of block producers. They're all kind of independently unique to themselves. They're not all one entity coming from one place. They're all individuals. Each block producer has their own idea. They build their own tools. They're kind of their own unique business, really. You know, they have to, like I was talking the other night, if you're a block producer, you have to kind of value how you're going to do bare metal servers. Are you going to do cloud servers? Whatever you're going to do. I mean, all this stuff is something you have to decide uniquely by yourself. So it's not centralized. It's not a system of centralization. The DApp applications, the building of an application, the dApps is not centralized. Everybody has their own idea of what's going to work on the blockchain, what needs to be built on the blockchain, what will get mass adoption on the blockchain. That's decentralized too, and that's why it's unique and it's a little bit more difficult to understand. Now we're going on to maybe having side chains and new chains and Warbly and some of the other chains that are being launched with the same EOS software, but now they have a different purpose. Maybe they're more specific as far as Warbly, like in the financial area. So there's a lot of complexity going on, and I'm trying to understand, or try to put it in a way for people to understand it. And I said last night I was going to start making videos about understanding the blockchain, how to put things on the blockchain, how to be a block producer, how to build an application, trying to put all this in understandable ways. So that's my question. My question is how to do this, how to simplify EOS. I think a problem with EOS right now is it isn't easy to understand at first try. You do have to put some effort into it, and maybe it has to be explained a little simpler. I watch a lot of videos, and of course I talk to a lot of people, and I see a lot of information out there, and it gets very confusing for me sometimes, understanding everything everybody's got to say. Not to mention, there's a lot of people right now that are kind of, you know, I wouldn't say, you know, there's a lot of people right now that are kind of like, they're having a lot of self-interest. So their self-interest is overriding the overall interest of the entire blockchain. So some of the self-interest is making it a little bit more confusing for people too. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to try to simplify this all for people. If you can't simplify it, you can't make it simple, people won't be interested. And of course, my goal is to make people interested, to get people excited, and to see a future, and to make it so everybody understands this in a very easy, understandable way. And it can be made very easy and understandable. So I'm going to struggle mentally to put this in a way so even the most, casual observer, even the person that's just the most, looking at it the most superficially can understand it. And I understand this very well too, because I look at some of the ideas being built right now in EOS. And that's why everybody just gravitates towards a game, because they can understand the game. Dice game, easy to understand. Card game, easy to understand. But if you're building something very complex that requires another level of understanding, and you can't put it in a couple sentences on an introduction or a website, then people just aren't interested. They almost got to see it work first. And that's why games are taking over EOS, because they're easier to understand, they're easier to play, they're easier for people to get. But I will struggle to get this down well enough to put it in terms for people to understand. I think it's very important for people to understand EOS, and understand what's going on, and understand very, very in a very easy way how this all works and how it all works together. So I'm going to start trying to put some videos together to explain it, down to the fact of even how to buy EOS. I mean, I made a video the other night on how to even buy it. And that's not even that easy to explain, because I put a video together and I saw some other people had other ways of buying EOS. And the fact that it even launched on the Ethereum blockchain, the ERC20 token. And that was a little bit confusing. And then how it had to, I'm still reading a lot of stuff about how people are still trying to figure out how to convert their ERC20 tokens to the EOS token, and even if that can still be done yet or not. I mean, that's just a lot of stuff going on. I will struggle to put this together in such a way people can understand it. I know that's important, and I want to do it because I think that's important for the overall health of EOS, to have everybody understand what's going on in a way that isn't all over the place. That's just everything out there all over the place. So I'll be working on that, and we'll be talking about that in the future. I think as EOS starts to progress, things will become more simpler for people to understand. I mean, it was complicated from going from the ERC20 token to the mainnet. It was complicated with trying to decide how block producers are going to be chosen and how the chain was going to get launched. It was complicated trying to understand, the function of the block producers and making sure everything. I mean, I remember when they launched the mainnet, they didn't know for sure if it was going to launch or not. And then, of course, now Block One has given it over to community, so the community has to kind of put this all together. So as somebody in community, I hope to be somebody that helps people to understand EOS much better, much simpler. Make it much simpler for people to understand. It's important for people to understand EOS, and not just to say, hey, I'm going to buy the token, and if the token doesn't go up, I'm out of here. Because it's something to really get excited about, because there is a lot of benefit to the blockchain. A lot of things going to be happening on the blockchain, and maybe just making it a little bit easier for people to understand is going to make it a lot easier for people to see the future of blockchain. So I'll be working on that, and I just wanted to pose that question for people tonight: how to make this easier for people to understand. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much.